Welcome to episode 11. My name is Nayan and you're watching The R Estate, a show that tracks the pulse of India's real estate and infrastructure story. Now, it's been an interesting week for the sector, from policy moves to shifting market dynamics. The landscape continues to evolve rapidly. On the show today, Andhra Pradesh looks to boost momentum with tax relief, and India's next property boom may not come from the usual big cities. And Gujarat's real estate market shows signs of slowdown. Let's get you to the top headlines shaping the sector.
In a move aimed at accelerating growth, the Andhra Pradesh government has announced a major relief for property owners. If you own land and are actively constructing on it, you will now pay only half the vacant land tax. This decision is designed to encourage faster development and reduce the financial burden on landowners. Vacant land tax, or VLT, is typically charged on unused plots, but during construction, this tax often becomes an added pressure. With this 50% relief, developers and individual builders now have a strong incentive to start and complete projects faster. The government hopes this will lead to more housing, better infrastructure, and increased economic activity across the state. More construction means more jobs. More jobs mean stronger local economies. It's a chain reaction, one policy aiming to unlock multiple benefits. With this move, Andhra Pradesh is not just reducing taxes, it's laying the foundation for faster growth.
For years, India's real estate story was about big cities, Mumbai, Delhi, and Bengaluru. But now, something is changing. In smaller cities, a quiet shift has begun. Not loud, not obvious, but very powerful. New highways are being built, airports are opening, travel is faster than ever before, and suddenly, these cities don't feel far anymore. Jobs are growing, businesses are expanding, and people are choosing to stay instead of moving to metros. And with this change comes a new demand. Better homes, bigger homes, premium homes. What was once affordable housing is now becoming high-end living. Less crowd, more space, better quality of life, and still more affordable than big cities. Prices are rising, demand is growing, and smart investors are already moving in. This is not just growth, this is a shift. India's next real estate boom is not in the cities you know, it is in the ones you are just starting to notice.
Affordable housing, once the backbone of India's real estate story, is now at a critical crossroads. Rising costs, policy gaps, and shifting demands are raising a fundamental question. Is the dream of owning a house slowly slipping out of reach? In Real Talk today, Ashwinder R Singh is joined by Dr. Hiranandani to decode what's really going wrong and what can be fixed, and whether the affordable housing can make a comeback. Take a look.
It is my privilege to welcome one of India's most respected real estate leaders, an industry icon, and somebody whose perspective carries the wisdom of multiple cycles and decades of institution building, Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani. Mr. Hiranandani, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with Republic. I've always been very fond of your channel and look forward to be with you again.
You know, India definitely needs affordable housing at scale. But the economics of affordable housing are becoming increasingly unaffordable for developers themselves. You've been speaking about it. Where do you think the real structural disconnect lies today? You know, whether it is land, approvals, capital, or the way our cities are being planned?
It's a very important question, and actually it weighs very heavily on me in person, me as chairman of Naredco, me as a person in the business of real estate, and of course it weighs very heavily on the governments both at the state and central level. There is a big challenge. In the last 1.5 years, the affordable housing segment has actually fallen by 20% in terms of numbers, and that is disaster for India. We really have to focus on it and we have to find. Now, whenever we have a problem, we have to find solutions of it, and there is nothing that cannot be solved. When I'm talking about 1970s, when we had the drought in India, we had the Jai Kisan, Jai Jawan movement, wherein we brought food for all. So we were able to handle millions of farmers taking care of the surpluses of food, and we were able to achieve it. A similar kind of war has to be declared as far as affordable housing is concerned. We really need to relook at many of the things. One, land cost. Number two, the mobility from the areas in which you provide affordable housing, because you can't just have housing and no connectivity to the facilities which human beings really need. The third, in order to see what is the government contribution that needs to do in terms of ease of doing business or in terms of it. So I'll give you two stories, short ones, to say how this can be solved. One, during COVID time, Maharashtra government reduced all the taxes relating to affordable and other housing by 50%. This helped affordable housing in a huge way. Stamp duties, development charges and other things were reduced by 50%. My view is that a similar action needs to be taken both by the central government in GST, the state government in terms of stamp duty, the local governments in terms of the charges which the development charges are being held. So this is one of the ways in which we can focus on affordable housing, and the bottom end of the triangle needs to be taken care of. Similarly, as what is being done by the Prime Minister for the purposes of food, grains and other things that are being brought to the farmer and to the individual level, we need to do in affordable housing also.
Mr. Hiranandani, one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, do you believe India is gradually moving from affordable housing to what I would call aspirational affordability? So how should developers think about this shift?
A very beautiful question, because that is the reality post-COVID. You're absolutely correct. The aspirational mode of a house buyer has completely changed. Earlier, छत मिल जाता था, बहुत कुछ हो गया. अभी वो, that is not enough. We really need to give all the aspirational modes. You need connectivity, you need a school, you need a hospital, you need retail, you need a garden area for your children to play. All these aspirational modes have come into the question of housing. So today it's not just a chhat that is sufficient to do, and we want much more. But that's not enough. There are a lot of segments of society which today are in jhopatpattis, those who are living there, the bottom end of the triangle. So I don't think that is the only answer that is there. The answer is yes, a lot of people have moved from the lower income to mid-income to higher income, and all have moved into some aspirational mode. But you cannot ignore the bottom end of the triangle. That's not okay. The construction workers, the industrial workers, the peons, the drivers and other people, all these people also need to get housing to be done. So I have a second solution that is there. The first one which I mentioned earlier. The second solution is to look at affordable rental housing. In the good old days, even charitable trusts used to make chawls and others where people would be able to get rooms at affordable housing. I think now we need to bring those provisions back. Industry has already been given a benefit in the earlier year budget, wherein if they constructed workers' housing, they would get an additional appreciation benefit of depreciation. I think now all companies, if they provided serviced housing for their employees and others, they would also get the benefit of depreciation.
In India, ownership still dominates emotionally and culturally, and we keep on hearing about it. So do you see that changing meaningfully over the next decade, especially among the younger urban professionals and also the people on the bottom of the pyramid? Will they adopt it easily?
The answer is yes. The young people are very easy to adopt, but you have to provide the wherewithal for that. Unless the Government of India policies, unless the state government policies, the local authority policies are modified in order to incentivize creating rental housing, it will not happen to the extent that we need to do. But if we can get the governments of the day, similar to what they talk about ownership housing, interest on loans are given at subsidized rate, banks and financial institutions are incentivized to give loans for housing. If a similar provision can be given for rental housing also, things will happen. The question is that you need to first move a policy move. Once you get the policy of rental housing in place, then it comes to implementation in all these segments. Also, the developers need to be incentivized at least for some time to actually also build rental housing. Remember, young people are very smart. If you give them the necessary incentive for the purposes of doing a particular activity, they will jump to it. They are very smart. Our Indians are very smart and they will definitely do it. The young people are smarter and they will also do this part of it. But is the government smart enough to take the action fast enough? That is the challenge. I only hope it happens fast enough. That's all.
As you look at the next 10 years, what gives you the greatest optimism about India's urban and housing story, and why?
I think the answer is very simple. I think it's the confidence in the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, with the kind of direction which he has done in manufacturing, in infrastructure, we'll double the number of airports in the next 5 years. We are doing railways. We have ordered the largest number of aircraft in the world. We're doing metro in cities, development which is taking place, taking care of the youth, new education policy that is coming into the flow, the benefits which are reaching to the common person in terms of gas, in terms of other facilities that are being given. So, and of course, the defense of the country is being strengthened, manufacturing is taking place, AI is being implemented in every aspect of business and thing. So, it is the belief that India's Atmanirbhar and Viksit Bharat is happening and will happen with this kind of leadership. So, I think that's something which I'm very optimistic about. Number two, I feel that the young people are smart, are clever and are good. I run 14 colleges, I have 45,000 students in my colleges, 16,000 in my schools, and believe you me, they are so bright. They are fast, quick, they are impatient, they are difficult, they question, but they are smart. And I do believe in them that the future of the country will be great. They are too much in a hurry, sometimes not willing to work very hard to achieve their goals, but time will tell that they will achieve it. So it's my belief in the Prime Minister and the entire team and the leadership that we have, and in the youth of my country. I believe in them, and there's a great future for India. That is the vision and belief that I believe that this will be a great nation in the future, much better than the past. That is my belief.
Thank you so much for your pearls of wisdom and advice.
Yes, I did. All the best, and thank you. Thank you.
Today, we will dive deeper into what's really driving demand and from Gen Zs and millennials reshaping buying behavior to emerging growth hotspots and evolving market spaces. Now, a reality check on what a 10 crore rupee can actually get you today. Here's a market watch.
India's real estate market is witnessing a generational shift, and it's happening faster than expected. For decades, property buying was dominated by older, financially settled individuals. But today, millennials and even Gen Z are stepping in much earlier, not just as renters, but as serious home buyers and investors. This new generation is fundamentally different. They are digital first, research driven, and far more aware of market trends. From virtual tours to online comparisons, their journey begins long before they ever visit a site. But more importantly, their priorities have changed. It's no longer just about owning a home in a prime location. Today's buyers are looking for lifestyle-integrated living spaces that offer wellness, convenience, and community. Smart homes, co-working zones, and green spaces are no longer add-ons, but essentials. Driven by rising incomes, flexible work models, and easier access to credit, this segment is reshaping demand patterns across the country. And as their influence grows, one thing is clear. The future of real estate in India will be defined not by tradition, but by a new generation of buyers rewriting the rules. India's real estate landscape is no longer limited to its biggest metros. A new growth story is unfolding, one that's spreading across emerging cities and redefining where opportunity lies. Infrastructure is at the heart of this transformation. Expanding highways, metro networks, and improved connectivity are opening up regions that were once considered peripheral. As a result, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities are quickly turning into real estate hotspots. These markets offer a powerful combination of lower entry costs, increasing demand, and strong potential for long-term appreciation. For both developers and investors, the focus is clearly shifting beyond traditional urban centers. After a period of uncertainty, demand for commercial spaces is rising again, driven by global companies expanding their operations in India. The country continues to be a preferred hub for technology, services, and global capability centers. But the nature of workspaces is evolving. Hybrid work models have accelerated the need for flexible office solutions. Co-working spaces, managed offices, and scalable work environments are becoming a key part of the ecosystem. What we're seeing is a dual growth story: residential expansion in emerging cities and a renewed push in commercial real estate. Together, they signal one thing: India's real estate growth is no longer concentrated. It's distributed, dynamic, and just getting started. India's real estate landscape is no longer limited to its biggest metros. A new growth story is unfolding, one that's spreading across emerging cities and redefining where opportunity lies. Infrastructure is at the heart of this transformation. Expanding highways, metro networks, and improved connectivity are opening up regions that were once considered peripheral. As a result, Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities are quickly turning into real estate hotspots. These markets offer a powerful combination of lower entry costs, increasing demand, and strong potential for long-term appreciation. For both developers and investors, the focus is clearly shifting beyond traditional urban centers. After a period of uncertainty, demand for commercial spaces is rising again, driven by global companies expanding their operations in India. The country continues to be a preferred hub for technology, services, and global capability centers. But the nature of workspaces is evolving. Hybrid work models have accelerated the need for flexible office solutions. Co-working spaces, managed offices, and scalable work environments are becoming a key part of the ecosystem. What we're seeing is a dual growth story: residential expansion in emerging cities and a renewed push in commercial real estate. Together, they signal one thing: India's real estate growth is no longer concentrated. It's distributed, dynamic, and just getting started.
Now, beyond trends and transactions, there's a bigger shift underway, one that is driven by technology and data. In Clarity Corner today, we explore a question that could redefine the future of housing as AI becomes more powerful. Now, will data start deciding where we live? Let's break it down.
Hello, this is Clarity Corner, and today we are talking about a shift that is not loud but is deeply structural: the rise of PropTech. For years, PropTech in India was seen as an add-on, something around discovery, listings, leads, digital visibility. But that phase is kind of over. What we are now witnessing is far more fundamental. Technology is moving from the edges of real estate into its core, into how we design, how we procure, how we build, how we finance, how we monitor, and how we deliver. A recent development in the construction tech space has once again brought this into focus. But this is not just about one company. It is about a pattern, and the pattern is clear. Real estate is moving from fragmented execution to integrated systems, from relationship-led outcomes to process-led delivery, and from opacity to visibility, and from uncertainty to predictability. Today, we are seeing platforms that integrate material procurement with project execution. They integrate systems that bring design, costing, and construction into one workflow. Digital tools that track construction progress in real time. AI-led models that predict delays before they happen. And financial platforms that align credit with the construction cycle. Now, this is not surface-level innovation. This is actually operational transformation. And importantly, capital is now following this transformation. And this is where an important shift is visible. Focused investment platforms are now emerging to back this transition. One such example is the Earth Fund, an initiative backed by Brigade Group and Gruhas and led by Abhay Garg. Its focus is clear: to invest in PropTech, urban tech, and sustainability-led innovation. We all know technology is an enabler, not a substitute. A weak project does not become strong because it has a dashboard. A delayed project does not become efficient because it has an app. Technology must sit on top of governance, on top of execution capability, and on top of financial discipline. Otherwise, technology is nothing but noise. The next decade of Indian real estate will be defined by one capability: execution, intelligence, and design. The future of real estate will not be built only with cement and steel. It will be built with data, discipline, design, and digital integration. This is Clarity Corner, and I am Ashwinder R. Singh.
And that's all for this episode. As real estate continues to evolve from policy shifts to data-driven decisions, one thing is certain and clear, that the way we buy, we build and we experience spaces is changing faster than ever. We'll keep tracking every shift that matters. My name is Nayan and you're watching Our Estate. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and we'll see you in the next episode.